All right, boys and girls, it's time. I have figured out who is going to be the main villain in Avengers 4. I've been scouring YouTube, pretty much YouTube, and I put together a few of the clips myself, did a little research, did a little digging. Then I remembered a couple comments I overheard from a couple of interviews with the Russo brothers and a couple other things. So here's where we're at. We all know the snap gets reversed. Plain and simple, right? That's number one. Number two, we know there's going to be a greater foe. Why? Because some toy got released, got leaked. The back of the toy talked about greater foes. It is what it is. We know about it. But how can we clip all these items together? How can we sew and come up with a correct story? One theory I just want to kill right off the bat, and I kind of talked about it before in my last video, but some of the theories that are running around there is Galactus is going to be the next villain. Not only do I think that's absolutely incorrect, it is almost certain that he's not. Galactus is the rights to Galactus are currently tied up in the Disney and Fox merger. Now Disney and Fox have agreed to use a couple other heroes over time. Ego, I think, being one of them for Guardians of the Galaxy. But I think Galactus is just way too much. He really doesn't tie in the current story. And I believe that the leaked title not too long ago, Avengers Annihilation, is actually the title. There are a few things I see that would lead me to believe that Annihilus will in fact be the villain in Avengers 4. Here's why. Okay, so I may have stated earlier, which I have, that Galactus is tied up in the Fox merger deal, which I did state that we used Ego before. Same with Annihilus. His rights are owned by Fox, so you could argue that my quick little snippet about Galactus is completely invalid. Fair enough. So a few things that we do know and why I think Annihilation is the actual title. When you look at the title, it's very revealing, and they talked about that. Once we see the title, we're going to know exactly what's going on. So it just makes sense. It's definitely not in-game. Everybody thought that was when Doctor Strange said it in the movie. We're now in the end game. I don't think that's the title. I think Annihilation is what it is. And I think once we hear that title, all these theories and rumors are going to get squashed. Another big thing that I remember from an interview was that the Russo brothers have said that this Avengers story is going to be off script. It's not going to be a story that was in the comics. Remember that. Avengers Annihilation, Annihilus, Annihilation, whatever you want to call it, has never really been a story in the comics for the Avengers. So that's a big clue right there. Another key piece of evidence is the photo that was released, I do believe, on Instagram of the Russo brothers, and I'll try to find it and pull it up, boom, here. And that video shows a giant A in the actual image, which could either stand for Avengers or Annihilation, and there's nothing left. Like, you see how the picture is like completely empty? That's another indicator that leads me down this path that I'm going down. Okay, so another thing is Annihilation has this thing called the Cosmic Control Rod. First off, the word cosmic is so telling with how, you know, the situation and items that Captain Marvel has gone through and what Ant-Man went through. Marvel has already introduced a few other type of worlds or zones or realities. Annihilus is from the negative zone. Dormammu and the Dark Dimension is one of those worlds that have already shown up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's a key indicator. Now, Annihilus's big thing is total annihilation. That means killing off everything. Thanos is all about balance. That's why he did the snap, killed half the universe to allow everything to balance out. He doesn't want everybody to die. Another huge indicator is Captain Marvel's coming out. Her movie is really about, well, it takes pieces of the Kree Skrull War, where Annihilus actually made a little cameo, a little guest appearance in that particular storyline. Another great thing is, in the Annihilation storyline, Annihilus destroys the Kree and the Skrull, their actual races within that storyline. So it just makes sense. Okay, Captain Marvel's coming out. They talk about the Kree Skrull War. Annihilus made an appearance in that particular story arc. Annihilus has big ties to the Kree and the Skrull. It just starts making sense at that point. With all that being said, and how everything's going to play out, and what's involved, who's involved in the story arcs that are already out there by Marvel, and the hints that the Russo brothers have already given us, there's no doubt in my mind that Galactus is not going to be the actual villain of Avengers 4, and I would be super shocked that he is, or that he will be. So, you know, that's my reasoning for it. Annihilus will be the main villain in Avengers 4. All right, ladies and gentlemen, do me a huge favor. Click that thumbs up if you like the video. Click that thumbs down if you don't like the video. But if you have any opinions or comments that you want to say, leave them in the comments below. Let's discuss it. Let's be fair. And remember to always be respectful. Thanks so much. You guys have a good one. Deuces. Oh, yeah. Make sure you click that subscribe button. Thanks.